Sex represents a transient, heightened state of delusion. Transient because it is based on the appreciation of the indriya or the senses. Heightened because it is a drift or migration from the pre-existing baseline at which we operate 23 hours, 30 minutes a day. And delusion because there's a sense of maya or a web of non-reality that is woven by the game of the indriya, chasing the indriyartheshu of objects of sensual gratification by creating a transient vacuum or void that we all experience. So sex takes us somewhere where we have not been before to experience something we have been deprived of or devoid of for the majority of the day. The samskaras operating in the subconscious have always felt a void, defect, or koloboma in medical terms, that we are not complete. We are devoid of some basic ingredient which we were having in our home of Shivchitta. This sense of drifting away, this sense of vacuole or vacuity, emptiness within, is what creates the need for sex. The operation of the indriyas in conjunction with the ego of identification creates a physical structure that assigns us a sex, male or female. Now, sexual dimorphism, as well as the urge to unite with something that we are not, because that was the precursor event that led to the chitta leave its home in the deep, quiet, introspective ocean of Shiva and drift to the shores, drift to the surface, turbulent waters of prana to experience the prana. So the ego is capitalizing on the dimorphism or the duality, polarity in the body structure created by the biological life so that we can be attracted to the opposite pole. North seeks south and south seeks north pole. Sometimes if the north gets tired, exhausted, bored with south, it starts looking in north pole itself, which is when people might be attracted to people of their own sex. So sex operates at multiple levels in the sense the attraction can not only be physical, it can also occur in beyond the annamaya sharir or the physical attributes of that individual. It can crop also at the mental level when you are attracted to their personality, behavior, kindness, or certain personality traits that you hold in high regard. Because at the end of the day, sex symbolizes union of Shiva with Shakti. However, in the world of imperfection, no union can be deemed perfect. That's why there is an activation of the sub-Muladhara chakras. These are chakras that do not exist in the human body, but some chakras that we had to transcend during our past evolution through the animal life. So it's a reactivation of the animal instincts of quick conquer and feeling the experiencing the neurotransmitter of dopamine, which will be a quick burst of pleasure. Hence the heightened in the delusion. Delusion for sure, because it creates a web that did not exist otherwise. It creates a welcome scenario that does not exist otherwise, and it is prone to disruption and destruction in the long term because of repeated usage. However, Dhyaito Vishyan Punsa Sangesh Teshu Upjayate teaches us that repeated contemplation leads to attachment. So, although Indriya, on repeated exposure with the Indriyartheshu, or object of sexual gratification in this case, our counterpart, our Indriyas might get desensitized to that idea of uniting with the same body whose structure has not been foreign or exotic anymore, but attachment or the repeated mental contemplation creates the need to go back and explore the territory that we once did. So, Indriya is trying to discourage the enjoyer from going towards the individual with whom they have already had sexual contact because it has lost its novelty. However, the mental plane has developed an attachment to that individual that transcends the needs of the opposites attract motto of Indriya. Here, the opposites will distract at the mental level. Mental level is about connection, common goals, common ideas and themes that you cherish and nourish. So in these cases, when the mental connection is strong, Indriyas take a backseat and Dhyaito Vishyan Punsa, or repeated contemplation of our partner, has sown the seeds of true love. This is why the first exposure of a body to a different body always leads to the instant gasoline firing up of the Indriya, and hence the urge to explore, the curiosity to conquer, the curiosity to know more about the opposite polarity. This is entirely dictated by the senses or the Indriya, but because of their quick, short contact, it tends to wane away over time. So, the lesson we learn that during sex, there are two different forces which are trying to establish contact. One is based on the Indriyas, which are always looking for novelty and based on curiosity to explore what is not apparently on our body surface. It could be triggered by things such as the skin texture in sparsha, or by the skin color or the glow, in addition to other senses that are often employed during activities of sexual nature. The second opposing force is that of the man. The man at some point will not only be translating the ideas that are dictated by the Indriya, which is based on the color, texture, and the rest, but also about certain features that are beyond something that can be quantified by the Indriya. These are an individual's thought process, personality, intelligence, being quick-witted or humorous, and things of that nature, which are more perpetual and long-lasting, hence invite and keep the individual in the sexual realm where they will gain satisfaction or fulfillment longer than what can be promised by the Indriya. But whether this yunj or union is based on the compelling force of exploratory nature of the senses or the repetitive attachment based on the similarities in appreciation for the traits held on the Sukshma Sharir at the level of desires and intelligence, both of them lead to the same goal of union of one body with the other in the form of sex. One has to remember that both, at the end of the day, are manifestations of ego recognizing oneself as one, and prithaktvin, or the individual with which whom we encounter sex, as having some different traits. So we have to understand, since it's a delusionary uh, web of Maya, this is not the reality. Reality eventually sinks in, and that is why individuals, after experiencing the high, whether in the realm of sex, drugs, alcohol, have to come back home and hit the baseline again, which seems very devastatingly low. This is because we have tried to forget the reality that we are, and we are trying to focus on filling the defect or the internal void vacuum that we have by using a force that tends to create the emptiness even more. It is like hitting a hole in a tree, just like a woodpecker does with his beak, and creating a further defect in the bark instead of helping to heal the bark. So, a lot of individuals will tend to have sense of emptiness linger there in their lives for years and years that will never be filled, no matter they are getting all their objects of desires, whether be it in the realm of food, water, shelter, objects of sensual gratification, including sex. We are looking for the key in the wrong place. We are looking for the key in a lighted corner of the room, when in fact the key is lost somewhere in the dark corner. This is because we do not want to face the truth. Pratyahara and Tri Yoga are the modalities that help to overcome this delusionary web, pointing to us their heightened state, their transient state, and the non-real state triggered by dopamine. When we have absorbed and understood that this is an interplay of Indriya, Man, and Ahamkar, or the senses, mind, and ego, playing together to create or concoct, fabricate a delusionary web in which they are trying to trap our Atman or Chitta, we understand the role they are playing here. So, it's not wrong to engage in sexual practices with individuals with whom we recognize or have a consensual relation with. However, we have to know that it is a delusionary game. It's a role play. It's being something which we are not, and hence, when we engage in such a practice, we have to know that this is because of our past samskaras, which tell us we are empty and incomplete, and we are trying to seek an answer in the corner of the room where the solution does not exist. Once we have accepted the delusion, the power of delusion is enormously decreased, and the individual's chakras will slowly begin to open. Talking of chakras, sex is predominantly located at the lower three chakras. To some extent in Muladhara, when you have not had sex for a long time, there will be a compulsive calling to return to the state which creates this transient union. So, just like food, water, shelter, sex will seem very natural and compelling at certain points when someone is trying to practice celibacy. Similarly, when an individual gets bored, has satiated his food, water, and shelter chakra of Muladhara, very common for us to feel the urge to engage in repetitive sex, almost based on clockwork, every day, every other day, every week, or whatever the schedule a person might be practicing to be engaging in sex. This is created by the leisure-seeking creation and procreation center of Swadhisthana or pleasures. Most of the sexual activity happens because the individual's emotions are logged at Swadhisthana, where his basic needs have been met by the Muladhara, but he doesn't have any fiery passion to kick him yet to Manipura. But don't get disturbed or deluded by realizing that sex only exists in Muladhara and Swadhisthana. Sex also pervades the Manipura in certain situations. Manipura, which is the solar fiery chakra of ambition, purpose, creativity, living a life larger than life can sometimes be shrouded by sex. This is the sex of entitlement, narcissism, or I am better than the rest, and hence I deserve better and more sex than other individuals. This sense of delusion, this sense of believing that self is better than the other, is an extreme case of narcissism where one individual has surrendered to the idea that he needs to be taken care of all the time. There's heightened sense of attention-seeking nature as well as validation requirement all the time. So my friends, sex is a state of transient heightened delusion which occurs because there is an innate emptiness that is created by our past samskaras embedded in the subconscious mind. This innate emptiness wants us to hide the emptiness or fill the void by combining our bodies with someone with whom we find traits either exotic and undiscovered in case of indriyas, or mental thoughts and patterns of similar nature or things we cherish on the manomay sharir. Whether we involve the indriya or the man, at the end of the day, ego has to be operational to be undergoing the acts of sex. Acts of sex will never create perpetual joy or bliss of introspection. They might only help to agitate the fire of desire even more. Nothing wrong in practicing sex every once in a while when we understand the limitations of sex and when we understand how it is not helping solve the problem. One has to return to the three yoga of bhakti yoga of selfless surrender, Nishkam Karma Yoga of selfless service of Yajnadantap, and Dhyan Yoga of deep contemplative meditation to realize who one is and to fill this internal void, the void that is created because the toddler has been separated from the parent, the Atman has been separated from the Paramatman, the Chitta has been drifted away from the Shiva. Once we have performed three yoga and participated in the 5-element pratyahara, what we call panch pratyahara, one has gotten himself, herself closer to realizing the self in the way by abnegating the indriya, the man, and the ahamkara, which we are not. So please respect sex and understand the limitations of sex when you engage in it, and try to discover the self, the awareness that you are, by practicing Panch Pratyahara and Tri Yoga. Jai Shri Ram.